Okay, we're going to do some addition of fractions. There are 3 types of these additions that you need to have a think about. They start with the easiest one and then they go through to the hardest version. In the first one, you can see that we've got 4/8 plus 2/8. In this case, the denominators are both the same. They're like fractions, so we can simply add them together. 4/8 plus 2 more 8s, really easy, 6/8. 6/8. So that's the first type. Let's move on to the next ones. This one, we're going to have 2/5 plus 3/10. Let's just put our 8s back. Now on this example, we can see that one of the denominators is on the times table of the other denominator. We know that 10 is a multiple of 5. So that means we can easily turn our fractions both into tenths. So let's do that now. So we start by saying 2/5. How many tenths is that going to be? Well, to turn fifths into tenths, we would have to multiply by 2. And if we've got twice as many pieces in the whole one, we're going to have to consider twice as many pieces that we're thinking of. So we know we're going to have 4/10 because 2 times 2 is 4. Now we can simply add the 3/10 that we started off with. So now we have 4/10 plus 3/10, and that gives us 7/10 altogether. So that was quite an easy one too. Let's look at the most complicated version that we're going to have a look at, and that's when we need to change both of the fractions. So for this calculation, we're going to have 1/3 plus 1/4. Now we need to give ourselves plenty of space to do this. Remember, don't do too much in your head. That's why you've got a pencil and paper, so you can write things down. We know that 4 isn't on the 3 times table, so we know that we can't change thirds into quarters. Can we think of a denominator that we can turn them both into? I know some of you will already be able to do that in your head, but let's imagine that the numbers were more complicated. What would we do then? Well, in the corner of our paper, or next to our problem, we would write the times table. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Don't go too far. You can always add some more on if you need to. Then underneath that, let's write the 4 times table. 4, 8, 12, 16. Hold on a minute. 12 is on the times table for both 3 and 4. So I'm going to change both fractions into 12ths. So let's start with the 3rd, and then we'll move on to 1/4. Okay, to change 3 into 12, we need to multiply by 4. So we're going to have 4 times as many fractions in our whole one, or as many pieces in our whole one. So if we've got 4 times as many pieces, then we're going to look at 4 times as many pieces as well. 1 times 4 is 4. So we have 4 twelfths. So let's just do that with our blocks. 1/3 is the same as 4 twelfths. So there's the first part of our calculation. We then move on to the quarter. This time, we have to multiply by 3 to move from 4 to 12. So that means we're going to have 3 times as many pieces. We know 1 times 3 is 3. So let's do our our quarter. Let's do our quarter. So now we have 1/3 plus 1/4 is the same as 4 twelfths plus 3 twelfths. And that makes that one nice and easy. All together, we've got 7 twelfths. So that concludes the videos that have fraction blocks. If you want to view the videos again to have a look at how the fraction blocks work, that's fine. But if you feel ready to move on to doing the calculations with no fraction blocks, then we'll move on now.